Hey, Vikings faithful. Skull Nation, are you ready for some jaw-dropping news? The Minnesota Vikings just spun the quarterback carousel in a way that's got everyone buzzing. We're diving into a massive shakeup in the QB room. Trades, signings, and some serious roster moves that could shape our season. So, grab your purple and gold, and let's break down what's happening with our beloved Vikings. Why is this a big deal? Well, the Vikings just traded Sam Howell to the Eagles and brought in a veteran with serious credentials. Carson Wentz. This isn't just a roster tweak. It's a bold statement about our plans behind J.J. McCarthy. Stick with me for the next few minutes as we unpack all 15 angles of this wild story. Let's get into it. What do you think this means for our Vikings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's ride this purple wave together. The Vikings just made a blockbuster move that's got Skull Nation buzzing. On Sunday, August 24, 2025, Minnesota traded quarterback Sam Howell and a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 2026 fifth-round pick and a 2027 seventh-rounder, according to NFL Network insiders Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. This trade sent shockwaves through the fan base, as Howell was seen as a potential backup to our rising star, J.J. McCarthy. Howell's journey has been a whirlwind. Traded 3 times since March 2024, he went from starting all 17 games for the Commanders to a backup role in Seattle, and then to Minnesota during the 2025 NFL Draft. But his preseason performance, especially a rough outing against the Titans where he completed just one of 5 passes for 13 yards with an interception, raised red flags. Vikings fans, what did you think of Howell's time in purple? Did he ever feel like the right fit? This trade isn't just about moving on from Howell, it's about setting the stage for something bigger. The Vikings are clearly looking for stability behind McCarthy, and this move screams confidence in a new direction. Let's see who's stepping into the spotlight next. Hold on to your helmets, Vikings fans, because Minnesota didn't stop with the trade. They signed Carson Wentz to back up J.J. McCarthy. Yes, that Carson Wentz, the former number 2 overall pick who was once an MVP candidate with the Eagles. The Vikings confirmed this signing shortly after the Howell trade, and it's a game-changer for our QB room. Wentz, at 32, brings a wealth of experience with 94 starts, 22,410 passing yards, 153 touchdowns, and 67 interceptions across his 9-year career. He's played for 5 teams in the last 5 years, including a stint backing up Patrick Mahomes with the Chiefs in 2024. His familiarity with a similar offensive scheme from his 2023 time with the Rams under Sean McVay makes him a perfect fit for Kevin O'Connell's system. How pumped are you to see Wentz in purple? This signing is a clear signal. The Vikings want a seasoned veteran to mentor McCarthy and step in if needed. But does Wentz have what it takes to be more than just a backup? Let's dive deeper into why this move happened. Why did the Vikings make such a drastic change? It all comes down to the backup quarterback situation, folks. Sam Howell's preseason struggles were hard to ignore: 118 passing yards, a 66.7% completion rate, and that brutal interception against the Titans. Meanwhile, Brett Rypien, another backup option, was released after a lackluster preseason, completing just 15 of 29 passes for 151 yards with an interception. The Vikings also have undrafted rookie Max Brosmer, who's been turning heads with 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in the preseason. But with McCarthy, a second-year QB with 0 regular season starts, and Brosmer's inexperience, Minnesota needed a steady hand. Enter Wentz, whose 89.3 career passer rating and playoff experience make him a reliable safety net. Skull Nation, do you think the Vikings made the right call moving on from Howell and Rypien? Or should they have given Howell more time? Hit the comments and let's debate. Let's talk about J.J. McCarthy, the centerpiece of this Vikings offense. Our 2024 first-round pick missed his entire rookie season with a torn meniscus, but the team's confidence in him is sky-high. He's set to make his first regular season start in Week 1 against the Chicago Bears, and the pressure is on to live up to the hype. McCarthy showed flashes of brilliance in the preseason, completing his first 3 passes to Jordan Addison in the opener against the Texans, including a highlight reel throw. But with only 12 snaps under his belt, The Vikings know they need a veteran like Wentz to guide him. Imagine the mentorship potential. Wentz, a former star, helping McCarthy navigate the NFL's ups and downs. How excited are you for McCarthy's debut? The question now is, can McCarthy handle the spotlight with a revamped QB room behind him? Let's explore how Wentz fits into this puzzle. Carson Wentz isn't just a backup. He's a mentor with a resume that demands respect. Drafted second overall by the Eagles in 2016. He finished third in NFL MVP voting in 2017 before an ACL tear sidelined him. That year, he threw 33 touchdowns and just 7 interceptions, leading Philly to an 11-2 record before Nick Foles took over for the Super Bowl run. Wentz's standout 2019 season saw him become the only QB in NFL history to throw 4,000 yards without a single receiver hitting 500 yards, guiding the Eagles to an NFC East title. His experience in high-pressure situations could be a game-changer for a young Viking squad eyeing the NFC North crown. What do you think Wentz brings to this team? Stability, leadership, or both? With Wentz now in the fold, the Vikings are betting on his veteran know-how to stabilize the QB room. But how does this affect the Eagles' side of the trade? Let's shift gears. Over in Philadelphia, the Eagles are making moves to bolster their own QB depth. Sam Howell joins a crowded room behind Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts, alongside Tanner McKee, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and rookie Kyle McCord. The trade for Howell wasn't just about McKee's fractured thumb, which puts his Week 1 availability in doubt. Philly would have made this deal anyway, per NFL Network insiders. Howell's stats aren't eye-popping. 5-13 as a starter, 4,139 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions with a 77.5 passer rating. But at 24, he's still young and has starting experience, making him a solid insurance policy for the reigning champs. Eagles fans, are you excited about Howell's potential in Philly? This trade gives the Eagles flexibility, but it also raises questions about their long-term QB plans. Let's see how this shakes up the Vikings roster. The Vikings quarterback room now looks like this. J.J. McCarthy as the starter, Carson Wentz as the veteran backup, and Max Brosmer as the promising undrafted rookie. Brosmer's preseason performance, 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a knack for making plays, has the coaching staff raving, but he's not ready to be QB2 just yet. Minnesota's decision to cut Brett Rippon and trade Howell shows they're prioritizing experience and potential. Wentz's familiarity with Josh McCown, the Vikings QB coach who backed him up in Philly in 2019, could help him adapt quickly to Kevin O'Connell's offense. Skull fans, do you think Brosmer could steal the QB2 spot from Wentz down the line? With the 53-man roster deadline looming on August 26, 2025, the Vikings are making calculated moves. But what does this mean for their season goals? Let's break it down. The timing of this shakeup is critical. With the NFL's roster cutdown day on Tuesday, August 26, 2025, the Vikings are reshaping their depth chart to compete in a tough NFC North. McCarthy's youth and injury history make Wentz's signing a strategic move to ensure stability if things go south. The trade also netted Minnesota some draft capital, a 2026 fifth-round pick and a 2027 seventh-rounder, which could help them pursue a veteran wide receiver like Adam Thielen, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Imagine Thielen back in purple, catching passes from McCarthy. What position do you think the Vikings need to target next? This roster shuffle is about building a team that can support McCarthy's growth while keeping playoff hopes alive. Let's look at how Wentz's experience could shape the offense. Wentz's arrival isn't just about holding a clipboard. His time with the Rams in 2023, running a system similar to O'Connell's, means he can step in seamlessly if needed. He threw for 3,563 yards and 27 touchdowns with just 7 interceptions in 2021 with the Colts, proving he can still sling it when called upon. His connection with QB coach Josh McCown adds another layer of intrigue. McCown was Wentz's backup in Philly in 2019, and their familiarity could help Wentz mentor McCarthy while learning the playbook. Vikings fans, how confident are you in Wentz stepping in if McCarthy struggles? The Vikings are clearly banking on Wentz's experience to stabilize the offense, but what about the bigger picture for the season? Let's zoom out. This shakeup signals the Vikings' all-in approach for 2025. J.J. McCarthy is the future, but the present demands a reliable backup who can win games if needed. Wentz's 47-46-1 record as a starter shows he's no stranger to the spotlight, and his 153 career touchdowns prove he can deliver. The trade of Howell also suggests the Vikings weren't sold on his fit in O'Connell's system. His 21 interceptions and 65 sacks taken in 2023 with the Commanders highlighted issues with decision-making and pocket presence. Skull Nation, do you think Howell could have turned it around in Minnesota? Or was this trade the right move? With Wentz in the fold, the Vikings are positioning themselves for a deep run. But how does this compare to other NFL quarterback moves? Let's take a look. The NFL quarterback carousel is spinning fast, and the Vikings aren't the only team making waves. The Eagles, fresh off a Super Bowl win, are stacking their QB room with Howell as insurance for Jalen Hurts. Meanwhile, teams like the Saints are still deciding between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shaw, and the Raiders are dealing with Aiden O'Connell's 6 to 8 week injury. Minnesota's move to sign Wentz and trade Howell stands out for its focus on experience. Unlike teams gambling on unproven backups, the Vikings now have a former All-Pro in their corner. What other NFL team do you think needs a QB shakeup like this? This trade and signing put the Vikings in a strong position, but the real test comes in Week 1. Let's talk about McCarthy's role in all this. J.J. McCarthy's first start against the Bears is just around the corner, and the pressure is on. The former Michigan star showed poise in the preseason, scrambling for 8 yards on a 4th down play and connecting with Jordan Addison for a highlight. But with no regular season experience, he'll lean heavily on Wentz's guidance. The Vikings' faith in McCarthy is clear. They turned down offers from Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones in March, and even Aaron Rodgers, who signed with the Steelers, couldn't sway them. Skull fans, how big do you think McCarthy's rookie season will be? Can he lead us to the playoffs? With Wentz and Brosmer behind him, McCarthy has the support to grow into a franchise QB. But what challenges await in the NFC North? Let's dive in. The NFC North is a gauntlet, with the Lions, Packers, and Bears all vying for supremacy. The Vikings' revamped QB room gives them a fighting chance, especially with Wentz's experience as a safety net. His 2019 season, leading a receiver-less Eagles squad to a division title, shows he can handle adversity. Minnesota's offense, led by Kevin O'Connell, thrives on precision and explosive plays, which suits Wentz's arm strength and McCarthy's mobility. But the defense, under Brian Flores, will need to keep games close for the young QB to shine. What's your biggest concern for the Vikings in the division race? The Howell trade and Wentz signing are pieces of a larger puzzle. Let's see how this impacts the Vikings' roster-building strategy. With the Howell trade, the Vikings gained draft picks that could fuel their pursuit of a veteran wide receiver. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that Minnesota inquired about Adam Thielen, but the Panthers are hesitant to let him go. A reunion with Thielen, who caught 67 passes for 726 yards in 2024, would give McCarthy a reliable target. The release of Brett Rippon and the emergence of Max Brosmer also show the Vikings are balancing youth and experience. Brosmer's preseason heroics have fans excited, but Wentz's signing ensures the team isn't rushing the rookie into action. Skull Nation, would you love to see Thielen back in Minnesota? As the roster deadline approaches, the Vikings are making bold moves to contend. Let's wrap this up with what it all means for 2025. Skull Vikings. This quarterback shakeup has set the stage for an electrifying 2025 season. J.J. McCarthy is our QB1, Carson Wentz brings veteran savvy, and Max Brosmer's potential adds depth. Trading Sam Howell for draft picks was a tough but smart move, giving Minnesota flexibility to bolster the roster. The Vikings are all in on McCarthy's development, with Wentz as the perfect mentor to guide him through the NFL's highs and lows. With the NFC North up for grabs and a Week 1 clash against the Bears looming, the purple and gold are ready to make some noise. What's your prediction for the Vikings season? Playoffs, division title, or something bigger? If you're as hyped as I am, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more Vikings news. Share this video with your fellow Skull fans, and let's get ready for an epic season. Skol!